Abraham Lincoln was one of the finest preachers in American history. You all know more about Lincoln than I ever will, so I will move over him quickly. But he produced sacred, secular scripture. Two quick things. You may remember that he issued the Emancipation Proclamation, he said, to his cabinet at the time he did, because he had told his maker that if the Union won at Antietam, he would free the slaves. I quiver thinking what cable news would do if a president came out and said they had done something based on that kind of bargain. The proper way forward, it seems to me, whether one is religious or not, but simply whether one is an American or whether one is a civilized person, it seems to me, is to be humble and to have a sense of history. Because if you are humble in the classic tradition, then you are more open to learning than to simply preaching and only looking for examples and things in life that affirm what you already believe, and you might become more open to entertaining contradictory opinions and moving forward. And history is full of those. So if you know anything about history, you have to be humble. To me, instead of glibly condemning the sins of the past, because as Arthur Schlesinger, the late American historian, used to say, self-righteousness in retrospect is easy and also cheap. Being self-righteous in retrospect is a lot easier than doing the right thing in real time. And that's what we're called to do. The other, I think, very important point about Lincoln is his sense of being with these things. You know, he ran against a Methodist evangelist for Congress back in Illinois, a man named Peter Cartwright. And late in the campaign, Cartwright was holding one of his revivals, and Lincoln came and sat right down front. And Cartwright gets to the altar call part, and he says, "Everyone who wants to go to heaven, stand up." And everyone stood up except Lincoln. And Cartwright said, "Well, Mr. Lincoln, where do you think you're going?" And Lincoln said, "Well, I'm going to Congress." Now, whether you can get to both is another question entirely.